Okay, so I think we'll get started now. So, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Tom, and I'm marketing executive for the University of Liverpool's online programs. I am here just to give a brief introduction to our speakers today, the webinar itself, the agenda, and also the University of Liverpool. Just like to point out that if you do have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to ask them in the Q&A section or the chat section, and we'll do our best to get to them at the end of the webinar. So let's get started. And our speakers today are Dr. Vicky Bates, who is our Director of Studies for the Master of Public Health Programme, Joanne Mainwaring, who is the Programme Director for the Master of Public Health, Reevy Barnes, an Admissions Advisor, and Amrik Potgieter, who is a Learning Technology Manager. Can I have the next slide, please? So today we will be covering why we believe you should choose the University of Liverpool, discussing the Master of Public Health Programme, then a demonstration of our virtual learning environment, following on with our admissions process and how to apply for the course. Like I said, we will also have time for questions at the end of the session, but do feel free to drop them into the chat or Q&A as we go, and we'll review and pick these up at the end. Next slide, please. So just an introduction into the University of Liverpool, which is proud to be known as the original Red Brick University. It was founded in 1881 and is a member of the Russell Group. Some facts are that we are ranked in the top 200 universities in the world. Next slide, please. We have a strong student community and try to ensure that our online students have a good level of engagement with their fellow students and teaching staff. The course materials are developed by staff and are designed for the online environment, and our programs are much more than just a reading list. They are interactive and challenging, but there is also a high level of support from academics and our student support team to ensure that students are successful in their studies. Next slide, please. Our online programs are part-time and designed for you. Our virtual learning environment is on demand and can be accessed throughout your course. Students who successfully complete their studies graduate from the University of Liverpool and are awarded a Liverpool postgraduate degree certificate, just the same as students who take similar programs on campus. Next slide, please. The online master's programs offered by the university are designed to work around you as a part-time student, whether that be an international or UK-based student taking our courses on offer. If you would like more information on the university and our programs, then please do feel free to visit our website. With that, I will pass over to Vicky and Joanne.
Thanks a lot for that introduction. So I'm the Director of Studies for the online MPH programme at the University of Liverpool, and I've got overall responsibility of the programme and ensuring that it's delivered to the highest of standards. The university has actually been delivering online programmes since 2000, so we've got a lot of expertise in delivering our online courses. The online MPH has actually been running since 2006, and as just mentioned, you could either opt to take the full MPH programme, or you might choose to do the postgraduate diploma or the postgraduate certificate. If you choose to do the postgraduate diploma or certificate first, you can actually then go on to take the full MPH if you find that you're really enjoying and getting benefit out of the programme. Our MPH programme is unique, so it offers a truly multidisciplinary public health approach. Not only are you taught by research active public health professionals who are located around the globe, your peers will be located from different countries, different health systems, different health related disciplines, and this brings a wealth of knowledge and experience and expertise that you can all share in the classroom. So it really is a good multidisciplinary experience. Our online MPH programme is fully accredited by AFIA, which is the Agency for Public Health Education Accreditation. This provides assurance that the programme's curriculum covers the most relevant global health priorities to the highest quality and teaching standards. The curriculum is designed with professional development in mind and attracts professionals who wish to make a difference in public health and health inequalities globally. So whatever stage in your career, an MPH will help you develop your professional practice and help you meet your career development goals, whilst making a real impact in the communities that you're working in. I'll now actually hand over to Dr. Jo Mannering, and she'll outline the structure of the programme in a little bit more detail for you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So my name's Jo. I'm the Programme Director for the Master Public Health, which means I'm sort of look after the virtual learning environment that you use throughout your studies, and I also look after all the students on their academic journey. Excuse me. So I'm just going to talk through a little bit about the programme structure. So upon starting the programme, you work through 5 core modules. The first of which is practicing and promoting public health in a global context. So this module really delivers the foundation of knowledge and understanding that you will need throughout your MPH studies. It tackles key topics like health inequalities, global trends and patterns of health and disease, and theories of health promotion. We're going to look at this module in a little bit more detail later on. Generating and evaluating public health evidence. This module starts you considering public health evidence and research in public health. So you find out about how research in public health might be framed and how it might be conducted. Integrating research in public health, epidemiology and qualitative methods builds upon, again, looking at research in public health, and you begin to learn about the features that distinguish quantitative and qualitative research. Leading and managing health systems looks at some key social, political and economic factors that underpin the design and functioning of health systems. Monitoring and evaluating monitoring and evaluation of systems and programs focuses on the role of evaluation in program planning and implementation. If you're studying a pathway on the MPH program, then you, in addition, you will have some core modules which are attributed to that program. One of our pathways we're delivering is the global mental health pathway. So if you take that pathway, your modules will also be core to your program, and those will be global mental health, contemporary issues, and global mental health practice and research. So we talked through the core modules. On the program, it's you also have flexibility to choose option modules. As I've previously mentioned, if you're taking a pathway, some of the option modules are core to that pathway. So, for example, if you're taking the global mental health pathway, you need to take the global mental health modules. If you're taking sort of the general MPH pathway, you have a raft of option modules that you can choose from, which are listed here. This is a great opportunity to develop your professional expertise in an area and show real depth and breadth to your qualification. Some really interesting topics here, as you can see, sort of the health protection, preventing and managing communicable diseases, or managing crisis and disasters, really give you an opportunity to learn about an interesting and novel area in public health. Next slide, please. We've talked about sort of the first sort of 5 core modules and then the option modules. You're also given flexibility to choose your research methods module. So here you can choose to take a qualitative or a quantitative approach to your sort of expertise in public health. So we have a module called Applied Epidemiological Research for Public Health. And this really is focusing on sort of the numbers and figures, and takes a quantitative approach to research. Alternatively, you might decide you want to look at qualitative research. So qualitative research is more about words. It's about talking to people to uncover their beliefs, their thoughts, and their feelings. So that's really important for public health, where we're trying to influence behavior change and so on. So you're given choice to go either way in terms of your expertise in those research areas. And then you will finish the programme with our final module called Health Inequalities. This module sort of ties up the whole programme. It's quite a reflective module, so it's getting you to cast your thinking back to the whole programme, how it might have influenced your public health practice. And it brings the theme of health inequalities to tie it all together. You then move to your independent research dissertation. This is a piece of research that you conduct yourself with the support of our dissertation advisor. You're required to develop a research proposal and undertake ethics application and approval, and then you can go on to conduct your research. So we give you sort of flexibility in terms of what that research might be. The topic you have to get approved through the proposal and ethics process, but you can choose sort of something that is related to your interests, your work, your location of your location of study and work. So some examples sort of from past students include things like the knowledge and concerns of the impact of climate change on health, a cross-sectional study of adults in rural communities in the Johor River Basin, Malaysia. A qualitative study to explore the perceptions of adults living in Calgary, Canada on diabetes, including the risk factors for diabetes and attitudes towards prevention. And knowledge and attitudes and barriers to the acceptability of long-acting HIV treatment and the associated demographic factors among people living with HIV in Nigeria, a cross-sectional study. So from those sort of short 3 examples, you can see there's real depth and breadth to the topics that students choose. So we're really confident that you will really enjoy that sort of piece of research. You get 40 weeks to complete that final dissertation. Next slide, please. I'm going to hand back to Vicky now to talk a little bit about the pathways.
Thanks, Jo. So Jo's outlined the key elements of the programme so far. So you might register with just an interest in general public health, but you might also, either due to your own interests or due to your professional practice, have a specific pathway in mind where you want to develop your specific expertise. So we offer 3 pathways of specialisation. These are the global mental health pathway, the international public health pathway, and the management of health systems pathway. If you're not too sure, you don't have to decide straight away. You do get quite a bit of time to make that decision. So you can register onto the general pathway, and then as you learn a little bit more about public health and what the programme is like, you can then opt to take one of our specialist pathways. And as I mentioned, these really help if you've got a specific speciality or career direction in mind, and taking one of these specialist pathways will really help focus your studies and then develop your expertise and research in that specialism by doing your dissertation in a field related to that pathway.
Super, thank you. So in the classroom, we call it our virtual learning environment because it gives you all the tools that you will need to complete your studies and your learning. there are various things in these in the classroom. We have lecture casts, which are sort of deliver material through sort of multimedia, so some video, some audio, some reading. And then we have sort of comprehensive reading lists, which are linked to the University of Liverpool library. So it gives you access to great sort of depth and breadth of reading to support your studies. Practical activities are included, so that would be some mini projects and tasks that you do in groups. We also have some quizzes and tests that are built into the virtual learning environment as well. So there's something for everybody, I think, in terms of the learning materials. We try and make sure that it meets all learning styles. Next slide, please. Assessment. So I think Vicky's going to talk through some assessment activities as well.
That's fine. So on our online MPH programme, we really focus on authentic assessment. So we want to make sure what you're learning is assessed in a way that's practical to your professional practice. So you'll be doing assignments that might be developing a proposal, a grant application, evaluating a public health initiative. So you get real world skills in the assessments that you complete. All of our modules have the same assessment structure. So once you've done module 1, you'll develop a real understanding of how the assessments work and get into a rhythm of how to do those assessments. So each module will have a mixture of short assessments, professional reflective logs, collaborative activities. So this is when you get the opportunity to really work in your multidisciplinary environment as you would as a public health professional, working with your peers to problem solve or develop specific tasks. And then at the end of the module, you'll have a bigger assignment which really brings all the learning across the module together. And again, this will be an authentic style assessment, really working on developing those professional skills that you will need as a public health practitioner once you've completed the MPH. So I'll pass over to Enrique now.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, great. So as Joanne mentioned earlier, we have a wide variety of resources and materials available within our programs and our modules. So today I'd like to give you a bit of an overview of what it may look like to study as a student in one of our modules, and I would like to sort of highlight some of the different activities that you would be working through. So I'm currently showing you PubK 520, which is our first module in the public health program. And I'm currently on the homepage, and you'll notice there's a navigation drawer to the left-hand side of the module, and that provides you with a means of navigating through the module that you're in. So when you as a student arrive at the module for the first time, you land on the homepage essentially, and the homepage gives you an overview of this module and how it fits within the program that you're studying. Also, there is a module announcements area where your lecturer who will facilitate this module will essentially announce different things as you work through your modules. So yeah, that's the homepage. If I hop through to the lecturer office, this is a demo module, so it doesn't currently have students or lecturers in it, but there would be a lecturer office where you could access your lecturer's details, an email address, and a Zoom meeting room. And they also provide office hours where you as the student can make contact with them and meet with them directly if required throughout your studies. We also provide a Q&A discussion forum in every module, which also allows you to drop in and submit questions to your lecturer. This is a typical discussion forum area, so you would add a discussion topic of perhaps an issue that you're experiencing, and the lecturer would respond to you in this Q&A area. Then I'll hop into the deadline details page. So in this module, we have 4 units, and each unit is 2 weeks long. And today I'll take you through one unit of study just to give you a taste of what this might look like. So as we can see in Unit 1, weeks 1 and 2, the first assessment or activity is Unit 1 group collaborative assignment, which is weighted. So it does count towards the final grade of this module, hence the summative tag at the end. There's also an individual assignment, also summative, and then a professional learning log, which is formative, which I'll show you shortly. So also from the deadline details page, if you were to click on any of the links, it would take you to that assignment in the unit that it belongs. So let me quickly jump over to additional resources. So every module has an additional resources page. We provide you with a grading criteria, and in here you will find the breakdown of the weighted summative components of this specific module. So you can see the individual assignments, which are due in weeks 2, 4, and 6 are 40%. Group collaborative assignments throughout weeks 1 to 8 are weighted at 15 and so forth. So just a quick overview for you as a student to see how the different components form part of your final grade that you'll receive. Also, if you were to click on the links, we provide you with a marking rubric or a grading criteria that you can use when you are creating those assignments, and ensure that you align your assignments to the requirements for the specific activity or assignment that you are working on. So if I jump back to the additional resources page, as Joanne mentioned previously, we also have comprehensive reading lists for each module. So in this case, if I click on this link over here, it takes us off to a reading list platform called Talus, which is hosted at the University of Liverpool. And what this allows us to do is link to all the materials that you require for your specific module. So you will see if I scroll down here, all 4 units of reading are available in a central location. So this could be it is a collection of journal articles, books, video material, blogs from different blogs across the internet. So all the resources that surround your module are available here. And when you are in this area, if you were to click on the View Online button next to this book, it would then take you off to the university library where you could access that resource and continue reading in that way. As mentioned, here are some video materials as well. So if you click on the View Online button, it will take you, in this case, to YouTube. Not to say that all video content is on YouTube, but in this case, this specific unit has some YouTube videos which need to be watched. So if I jump back to additional resources, the last activity here the last element is the Turnitin sandbox. So what we do provide is we provide a sandbox area in every first module of a program where you can upload your assignments and experience what it's like to receive a Turnitin similarity score, so you can see how whether you've plagiarized any material or you need to cite materials and so forth. So that is available to you there as a student. Then quickly about the professional learning log. This is a formative activity for this module, and in this area you would complete reflective entries every unit. So you would have four reflective entries in this specific module. Then we have a page for ebooks, and in this module there are 2 core ebooks, and these would either take you to the University of Liverpool library or to a third-party service called VitalSource. And VitalSource also provides a very interesting area for you as a student to engage with ebook materials. It provides an interface which allows you to create almost coaching style questions and quiz style questions within the ebook environment, which is quite helpful. And also it has a built-in screen reader for any students that might require screen reader capabilities and so forth. So not every module will have VitalSource ebooks, but some do when we don't have access to that specific ebook within the university's library. Great, then I'll quickly jump over into Unit 1 and provide you with a very short overview here. So every unit has a very similar structure. There's a bit of introductory text at the beginning of the unit, and it outlines what the learning objectives are for this unit. And then below the introductory section, there are a few activities which you need to complete in the week. So the first activity here is the lecture cast that Joanne referred to earlier. So yeah, lecture cast is like Joanne said, a multimedia experience that combines some short videos and images and bite-sized chunks of text. And it just allows us to break up concepts in a digestible way so that you can work through potentially complex ideas in a systematic way that's easier to understand. So if I launch the lecture course, it will open an additional window, and you'll always be greeted with a home page when you access it for the first time. And this homepage gives you an introduction to the topic that you're covering. So in this case, it's an introduction to public health. And if I click on Start Lecturecast, it will take us into the first topic or section for the week. And in this case, it's an introduction to public health video. So the module author who created this content is speaking in the form of a voiceover, and there'll be different multimedia elements and assets that are animated in as they cover the specific topic. And then also below the video, there is also a full transcript of those videos. So if you wish to read the transcript, you can also download PDF versions of those. And then yes, as you work through that, you'll see on the left-hand side, there's also a navigation drawer here. And as I move to the next section, you'll see that there are completion checkboxes on the right-hand side that will show you where your progress is within this lecturecast. You can also return back to the lecturecast at a later stage, and you'll see where you were previously. So you could pick up where you left off, really. So as mentioned, a bit of a mixed multimedia environment where there's some text and some images as well as videos, and yeah, just providing a richer experience for you as a student to engage with your materials. So that was the lecturecast in Unit 1, and then we have reading. So the reading list pages are all the references for this unit's reading. As I showed you earlier, we have the TALIS reading lists system that we host the reading on. So yeah, this just provides you an overview of the reading, and what you would do is click on the link at the bottom of the page, which would take you back to TALIS, which is where all the reading is hosted. This allows us to easily manage broken links. So it's very rare that links break within the TALIS environment, because we can actively manage whether a link is available or not to you as a student. Great, so that was the reading. Also, as I complete different tasks, I can mark those as done using the buttons on the right-hand side of the page, and that will update my student dashboard to show my progress through the module. So you'll get an indicative percentage of how far along in the module you are. So that's quite helpful. So then the first summative activity or assignment for the week is this Unit 1 group collaborative assignment. So in a group, you will watch a case study video, which is embedded within the discussion area, and there's some guidance for you as a student to interact with this activity. So you're told that you need to post an initial post to this discussion forum and additional follow-up posts in this area, and you would then add your posts, and you would start to collaborate with fellow students in the module. Then if I jump back to Unit 1, that was the discussion forum there. Then we also have an individual assignment. So this is a bit more of a traditional style assignment, in the sense that we provide you with a brief, an assignment brief, or in this case, a specific resource that you need to read, and select a case study. You choose one of those case studies, and you submit your assignment at the bottom of the page once you have completed that. We also provide you with a marking criteria, so you can see how the marks are allocated depending on the different competencies that you need to meet within this assignment. If I jump back to Unit 1, the final activity in this case is the professional learning log, which we saw earlier. So when you click on the professional learning log, it takes you to the learning log tool, and you'll enter into what looks like a discussion forum, individual reflections, which then form part of your final assignment, which is due in Unit 4 in the specific module. And then the final piece of or the final activity, or below the final activity, is the link to the dissertation preparation pathway, and this is a pathway preparing you for those students that are going to eventually write a dissertation and participate in a dissertation module. Yeah, and then finally, the last thing I'd like to highlight here is just that we also provide a support widget, which is pinned to the bottom right of every page. So if you click on that widget, there are a few there are a few knowledge base entries here that can help you throughout your studies. So if you would like to submit an assignment, you could search for help, and there are some videos that show you within this widget how to submit an assignment if you are struggling to do so, how to contribute to discussion forums and so forth. And additionally, in addition to that, we also have a live chat option here. So if you do click on the live chat option, it opens a live chat widget as well. And in this case, you can contact student support directly via live chat, which then in which they can help you with any sort of technical queries that you're experiencing. And they will help you through any problems. And yeah, we're really happy about that integration, and it provides you with a quick and easy way to gain access to our student support team. Amazing. So yeah, that's a very quick whistle stop tour of the whole learning experience, I guess, on the virtual learning environment. And yeah, I hope to see some of you around. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we just get up the slides for the admissions process, please? Thank you. So I'm Reevy. I'm an admissions advisor for the online programs, and I'll just briefly go through the admissions process and the next steps on how to apply. So once you're ready to submit an application, you can do this via our website using the link on this slide, and your application should include the following documents. So we would need your ID, CV, degree certificate and translations, a personal statement of around 300 words, and evidence of English language. So this can be an IELTS of 6.5 or above with a 7 in reading and writing, or a TOEFL equivalent. If you don't have an official English test, then not to worry, we can set you up on a free online English test called KTE upon receipt of your application. And the next slide, please. So the admissions process usually begins when a student submits an inquiry about the programme they're interested in. Once you've submitted the inquiry, you will be assigned a dedicated admissions advisor, such as myself, who will answer any questions you have about the programme and make sure you're 100% happy before you do submit an application. It is free to apply, and you can apply through the application form on our website. It should take around 10 minutes or so, and then obviously you'll have to upload your documents as well. Once you've applied and all documents have been received and reviewed by admissions, your application will then be ready to submit for review with the Director of Studies, which usually takes around 10 working days to receive the outcome for this. If the outcome is successful, you'll be notified by your admissions advisor with the good news and will be sent an offer letter. Should you accept the offer, you will need to accept and pay the deposit within 14 working days of receipt of your offer in order to be enrolled on our programme. And the next slide, please. So the tuition fees for the online programmes do differ depending on which programme and level of qualification you're applying for. If you're applying for a PG certificate, it will be 10 months and will be £5,355. The PG diploma will be 20 months and £10,710, and the full Masters of Public Health will be 30 months and a total fee of £16,065. And the next slide, please. So in terms of funding for the programme, we do have various scholarships available. So we do have a Commonwealth scholarship at the moment. There's 10 fully funded scholarships available through the Commonwealth website, which you can look into and apply for using the following link. And this is available for students living in Commonwealth countries. The closing date for these applications through the Commonwealth scholarship is the 28th of March, and this scholarship will be applicable to our October intake. As well as this particular scholarship, we do have an executive health scholarship of 20% available for the remaining intakes in the 23-24 academic year. And this is for the full MPH award. So this is not applicable to the diploma or the certificate element. This reduces the total fee from £16,065 to £12,852. As well as this one, we do also have a 5% upfront payment discount for students who aren't paying in monthly instalments and would prefer to pay their fees upfront for the programme. And there's also a 10% alumni discount available for the tuition fees as well. So if you are ready to apply, you can do so through the website. And there's also a contact page for the admissions team. If you do have any questions before applying, we'll be happy to help you. So I'll pass back over to marketing now to take any questions, I believe.
Thanks, Ruby, and thanks, Joanne, Vicky, and Amrik too for their presentations. We do have a bit of time now for Q&A. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to enter them into the Q&A section. One that we have had during this is someone asking, is it easy to be considered to study the Master of Public Health by distance learning through CSC? They have all qualifications, including an upper second class degree. I'm not sure who that would be relevant for. I can see Vicky is typing answer them, but I don't know if you want to answer that.
Hi, yeah. I was just about to reply in the in the chat. So to apply for the CSC scholarship, you do have to meet their criteria. So an upper 2-class degree is part of their criteria, so you would meet the standards for that. But you'd need to check the CSC website for the other eligibility criteria. It's quite a straightforward application process, but you do need to apply through the Commonwealth Scholarship Scheme and the university as well. So just make sure that you apply through both if you want to go through the scholarship route. And I think the link for the scholarship information is in the webinar presentation.
Thank you, Vicky. Another question is someone asking, are the online master's degrees equivalent to their on-campus versions, and will the certificate mention that it's an online degree as well?
So the online MPH is equivalent to the on-campus MPH. They are exactly the same qualification at the end of the programme. So that they're considered the same quality, the same academic standards, so they are an equivalent degree. I'd have to check on the certificate, what it states on the certificate, but it is recognised as the same degree, and you will graduate at the same time as our on-campus students, depending on what your graduation period is.
I'll also just add, sorry, it won't say it online on your official certificate, so it will be the exact same certificate as the on-campus students receive. It will just stay online in your transcripts as the mode of study.
Thanks, Ruby.
Thanks, Ruby, and thanks, Vicky, as well. So someone else has asked, are there different entry routes for the MPH?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say the question again?
Sorry, someone's asked, are there different entry routes for the MPH? I presume that means either through having a degree already or through work experience, that kind of thing.
I'm happy to try and answer that if you wish. So yeah, there are different entry routes to the MPH programme. There's a traditional routes where you could be a qualified doctor, for example, or you might have other public health related degrees, but you might also have significant work experience which is relevant to public health, so professional experience working in a public health related field. So you don't necessarily need a degree to apply for the programme. It's taken on a case-by-case basis where we'll explore what professional experience you've got, whether you've got any voluntary experience, if you've taken any additional sort of CPD courses, for example, which are in a related field, which demonstrates obviously motivation to study and learn more about public health. So there's lots of things that we take into consideration. So I wouldn't be discouraged from applying if you don't feel like you fit the traditional master's student profile. We encourage all applications, and as I say, if you don't fit in with a sort of a degree profile, we will review all the cases individually.
Amazing, thank you, Vicky. I suppose this one's for you, Reeve. Someone's asking, is there any fees involved when proceeding to next steps of the application process?
There won't be, no. So it's 100% free to apply to the programme. Once you've applied, obviously, if you are approved on the programme, you'll receive an offer, and we will need your payment and acceptance for the programme within 2 weeks of receipt of your offer. So if you were to say get the 20% executive scholarship for the programme, you can choose to pay in monthly instalments. So it would be £428.40 per month. And that is what is required for the deposit as well. So it would be a payment of £428 with that 20% executive scholarship in order to enrol. But it's 100% free to apply before that.
Thank you. And also coming back to you, Riva, someone's asked, is there a 100% scholarship programme?
I believe the only scholarship where it's fully funded would be that Commonwealth scholarship again, and I would just advise to go to the Commonwealth website to look into details about how to apply to that, but we don't have anything from the university directly, unfortunately.
Thank you. And another question here is, will the student, when they graduate, have a graduation ceremony?
They will, yes. So they would be invited to the on-campus graduation along with the other online students and the on-campus students as well. So they get to graduate at Liverpool University also.
Thank you. And I think we've just got time for one last question here. So someone has asked, do they need a visa to apply?
They won't need a visa, no, as it's 100% online. They will just need access to a computer or a laptop. And they can do this from anywhere. So it's open to all international students from any country. You don't need a visa to apply, and you don't need to come to the campus at all.
Amazing, thank you. That's all we've got time for today. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and also again thank you to Joanne, Vicky, Riva and Rick for their presentations and taking the time to do that today. So this session has been recorded and we will be sending the recording out to you all in the next day or so. So please do keep an eye out for that. Feel free to watch it back. We do hope this session has been really informative for you and that you do hope to decide to study with us. And thank you again and have a great day.
Thank you.